Fondation Jean-Jaurès.
Penser pour agir.
Good morning. The Russian invasion of Ukraine, one of the EU's closest neighbors, is a watershed moment in Europe and beyond. It will have far-reaching implications in all regions in Europe, including, of course, the Western Balkans. To discuss these implications, both in the region and also on the EU's approach to the region, we are inviting a couple of key personalities from the Western Balkans to share their views. Today, I am pleased to give the floor to Mrs. Gordana Djurovic. Gordana Djurovic is professor in the University of Montenegro in Podgorica. She's president of the Montenegrin Pan-European Union, but she has also been, two times, I think, Minister for European Integration and also Deputy Prime Minister for European Integration in the past. Mrs. Djurovic, so good morning. Very shortly, can you first tell us what are the main implications, according to you, of this war for your country and for the Western Balkans in general?
Yes, definitely. We are living in very challenging times, and this aggression of Russia, in fact, war in Ukraine, also impact all of us Europeans, including our region. So we are so-called countries of enlargement, and we are in this process of firstly stabilization and association agreement process, then accession talks, more than 22 years. So for our region, EU put some political commitment from Thessaloniki regarding European perspective, potential membership. For the neighborhoods, for Eastern neighborhood, it was not the case. But now with this new moment, somehow we have new, if I may say, accession trio. And it is quite new moment having this new security situation risk in Ukraine. It was a trigger to submit application by Ukrainian president in late February, and then it was followed with Georgia and Ukraine and Moldova and Georgia. So we have now 3 new countries, and it definitely impacts portfolio of Commissioner Varhelyi. And we in the region, we are not satisfied with dynamic of European integration. I agree that we need 2 for tango. So part of the tasks are on the outside. Part is an outside, part is on the European side. But with this new moment, I expect that maybe we, after a Versailles Declaration and this order from the European Council towards Commission to assess these applications, it is one new moment, and definitely it impacts us also, because now there is a much closer link between enlargement and Eastern neighborhood, at least at the beginning of the process, which means that European Commission already has delegated task to assess that request for application membership. Of course, Commission is very strict. There are no changes in rule, at least not in a short term, which means that rules are the same. So it is one very long journey. And for the Western Balkan, it's still confirmed that there are no shortcuts towards union. But there are some scenarios, of course. And these weeks, we can see in different papers or policy briefs some ideas about that. We are waiting for a new, of course, for the first situation in Ukraine to be concluded somehow for the benefits of the Ukrainian people for the first. And then we are waiting for the European Commission report on autumn. And then we will see there how many countries we will have in report.
Yeah, so
it is the short-term effect.
It is. So you're talking about a new momentum which could be created by this application of the associated trio for EU membership, and the closer link between enlargement and Eastern neighborhood policy. So if I understand well, you don't see that there is a competition where the Western Balkans could be losing from new countries trying to apply. You see rather a momentum which could grasp the interests so strategic interest of the EU.
Yeah, but definitely we are not against those countries. You know, we have enough solidarity for the first with them. We understand it as an issue of security, an issue of European unity and solidarity, not only about enlargement itself. So in that context, we welcome that applications also. We are not against that. I think that it is fair to create a room for them, but it is linked also with some potential changes of enlargement policy, no doubt. Even EU is already quite differentiated. We have a monetary union, Schengen zone, economic European area with Norway and Switzerland. So there are a lot of common foreign and security structural cooperation and a lot of differentiated cycles of European Union. We talk about two-speed, multi-speed, and so on.
So not only bringing a new momentum, but maybe also triggering new reforms on how the enlargement will be done. If we now focus a little bit on the impacts of the war, so more specifically on Montenegro, maybe more on long term. In Montenegro, you do have an important part of investments coming from Russia. I know also that Montenegro has kind of some troubles in implementing the sanctions of the EU, although they have lines, if I'm not wrong, at least in principle. Can you tell us a little bit what it is about, how it is impacting the domestic politics and the economy of Montenegro?
Yes, we have also Russian investment, and still our government is without official decision about implementation of sanctions. We need that official decision. We have a quite unstable political situation because our government has fallen, and still we are without new government. So in some kind of political institutional limbo, we are waiting for new government. Old government is quite pro-Russian, and somehow they like to postpone it. So first impact is that we are okay with common foreign and security policy, but officially we do not implement the sanctions. So it should be finished as soon as possible. If with this government or with new government, we expect new government at least for 1 month. Because we need to deblockade the work of parliament. Some deputy speaker of parliament reject to announce when will be the date of new parliamentary session. But do hope that Montenegro will finish that part of the task. We opened the door already for the refugees from Ukraine. We invite some professor to join us on academia. We open also some other premises for them. So we have about 7,000 of Ukrainian now in Montenegro. And it is one part of the story. Second is that definitely we will freeze also their assets in Montenegro with that set of sanctions, because we will fully respect all. Now, Europe, I think, has about 4 packages. So it is a quite comprehensive set of sanctions. Regarding impact on Montenegro, it caused amazing growth of support for EU integration. Not only as EU is a fairy tale, but as a reaction of all these uncertainties. So one can easily conclude that for Montenegro, the best future is European path, so integration. And specifically for Montenegro, the smallest country in the region, but with very pro-European legacy in last 20 years, I deeply believe that new government will support that path further, and we will continue to deliver our tasks, specifically in the rule of law area. If it will be the case, then there is still small window of opportunity for Montenegro for Agenda 2025. So It is opportunity maybe for Albania and for North Macedonia, but definitely for Montenegro still, because we are quite advanced in accession talk. But it could be only the case if we start really to express our political will for the reforms and produce meritable results in the course of next 2-3 years. If not, then definitely we will be part of quite a big convoy from Western Balkan countries. Then it will not be definitely Agenda 2025. It will be Agenda 2030. And we will see how it will go. There are some ideas from Belgrade, for instance. It is one paper from Brussels CEPS Institute and European Policy Institute from Belgrade about staged accession, which means to split it in 4 stages, not in 2, member or non-member, but to somehow spread it, to buy time for Serbia to solve problems with Kosovo, and to buy time for EU to fix internal challenges. Serbia need that time, but Montenegro don't.
Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing these thoughts. As we see, this war might be an external trigger for accelerating a series of reforms and thoughts we were having before. So giving us some momentum, giving also opening some room also to think about enlargement in different ways. And also having a domestic impact on the population, as you say, who sees
strongly supported the European integration process.
The need for it. So maybe accelerating also some domestic reforms. Thank you.
Additional pressure on government.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Djurovic, for sharing these thoughts. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All the best.
Fondation Jean-Jaurès. Penser pour agir.